Hello and welcome to The Good, The Bad and The Worst, a podcast where we watch movie trilogies and decide which movie's best part is that you can eat it. I'm your host, Griner, and joining me today.
My name's Conan, and brother, you will be inside me tonight.
No. My name's Luke, and Conan completely stole my quote. So,
all right. Of course, doing this very real trilogy that we didn't just make up on the spot. The YouTuber turned horror director trilogy. 2026 was it's been a weird year for movies. Would you guys agree? We've had a huge box office numbers. Spider-Man just passed $2 billion, I saw today. 8th highest grossing movie ever.
Did you say it passed $2 billion?
$2 billion today.
That's Is that the quickest $2 billion in history? Endgame must have topped it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. For a
standalone,
for like the fourth standalone Spider-Man movie,
that's right. Huge. We had Nolan's biggest movie ever in The Odyssey. We've still got movies coming at the end of the year in June 3 and the next Avengers movie.
Doomsday,
that's right. And we've had some really amazing kind of out of nowhere YouTubers making horror movies. And this is not a new thing, right? We had Bring Her Back and Talk to Me and Shelby Oaks. The last few years has been weird with, YouTubers making movies, but this podcast is about the YouTuber horror movies that came out this year: Iron Lung, Obsession, and Backrooms. Mm-hmm. Did you guys have any of these on your radar or bingo card before this year? Luke, did you have any of these in your?
Not at all. I would say Iron Lung was never on my radar. I didn't really know what it was or heard much about it. I'm not in the Markiplier scene. I didn't know the other two YouTubers either, so I wasn't familiar with their YouTube careers before these movies came out. I'd seen a lot of talk about Obsession. Backrooms, I'd gotten the internet meme and had seen a few clips about that. So I feel like, if anything, I was more familiar with Backrooms heading into that than anything else, and sort of curious to see how that would go. But I definitely didn't have any expectations for these movies, like a few months out from them or anything like that. So they were quite a surprise to me. Obviously, I feel like the first YouTube to horror trilogy was the books by C.V. Clarke, some of my favorites that you should check out.
Off. You're so dead to me, all right? You stop trying to undo it. The damage is done.
Conan, I mean, you strike me as the most in touch with the horror scene. Were any of these movies on your radar coming into this year, or?
Not really, no. Obsession's like the real outlier where I had no idea that movie existed. I had no idea who Curry Barker was. And then that goes on to be the biggest success story of the year. Not as much as Spider-Man, but a bigger comparative story. Similar deal to Luke. I knew what Backrooms was. And so sort of that coming in, hearing about that being made, and then sort of watching that slowly get marketed and talked about, and like the teams behind it, where A24 was getting attached and Blumhouse was attached and Kane Parsons was getting involved. So, okay, this seems like something significant. Very reminiscent of like the Jordan Peele thing or the Zach Cregger thing, like those comedians turn. Or I guess Jordan Peele's more of just a comedian turn this, but like in the same vein, more maybe the Rucka boys, the was it Philippou brothers, where they were getting these like guerrilla YouTubers into it, and we'd had a few years of good stuff. So I was thinking that Backrooms seemed promising. Iron Lung was again like a little curiosity where I saw that, didn't know anything about Markiplier, saw it at the cinema and was looking into it. It's based off a game. Okay, that seems weird. How is this getting a cinematic release? And I was interested to see that at first, but I missed it, and heard reception wasn't great. But I don't know. It really most interesting narrative is that all of these things have kind of been unprecedented successes, and each one's sort of surpassed it. Like Iron Lung came out and made its money back and was already in the green, and based on pre-release sales because of Markiplier's sort of marketing towards his base. Like his fans, he basically rallied his fans to buy tickets.
And they were like calling cinemas to get them to show it. Like,
that's right.
Yeah.
It's a real like grassroots sort of thing. And then Backrooms as well kind of became this like the narrative of Backrooms more than anything else became the story of like this 20-year-old kid's getting this film made, and it's got like real people attached, and that was more compelling. And this is a long extension of what's been happening years before. Diehard fans will remember our best episode on the Terrifier trilogy, which was Damon Leone's micro-budget horror masterpiece. That, again, those movies, the most interesting part of them is the weird success of them, where like this micro-budget thing makes $5 million because people turn out for it. And then around the same time that was Skinamarink, which was another YouTuber who made it was like on $50,000 or something, and it ended up making $1 million, which seems like small potatoes compared to Obsession. But at the time, like all of these little things are these tiny little steps of hold up. True quote unquote creators are getting a chance and are getting seen. And so this feels like the year that this is like the singularity where the fandom and these people and everyone sort of realizing that there's actually something here, and they've all come together. And so we have these three like explosively successful movies, all kind of within 3 months of each other as well.
Iron Lung was pretty close to the beginning of the year, but like January 30th, I think it came out. So, but it's like, in the first 6 months of the year, we've had all these huge releases. It's pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy.
Do we feel like, Conan, like from your opinion, do you think that younger audiences, because it seemed like there was a craze around Backrooms and Obsession. Like Obsession is still showing in like the not our local cinema, but a cinema quite close to us. It's still showing like one session a day kind of thing, like a late night session. And last one I went to wasn't that long ago, and it still had a lot of people turning out for it. It seemed like, do we feel like with such success with horror recently, are the younger people horror fans? Are they bringing horror back? Is it a young people thing, or what is it? Because it seemed like this was popular on TikTok and all that sort of stuff, where it was getting them people out to be like, oh my God, let's go watch this crazy. Like I knew people who didn't go to movies who went and see this. And I've seen people talk about, oh, my mum messaged me asking, should I go see Obsession? Like it seemed like this blew up where kids were telling their parents about it. And like, I don't know. It just seemed like crazy.
Yeah. Like there's been a mantra over the past, few years of like, we are so back, we are so not back. Yeah. It's kind of this like debate of are movies dead or are movies alive? And horror is the genre that seems to be spearheading the return, where that's been keeping the box office afloat for the past few years. And horror has always been a genre that has been consistent and like stable. And it's really coined on, I think, it's really, the studios have coined on to that, and audience have coined on, because it's like the most pure cinematic experience where you get in a room and you share in an emotion more than just sharing in the story or the just watching together. Like you all collectively have an experience, and like horror and comedy are the only two that do that, I think, as well. Well, they're the two that do it the most, and comedy's died out because there's a whole multitude of reasons why. Woke. So horror, because of wokeness, that's right, because of the damn left.
People aren't allowed to tell jokes anymore.
Yes, that's what some people will have you believe. But so horror's been keeping going, and I think more than anything this year has just shown that Gen Z or Gen Alpha, I don't really know which one's. Sorry, I don't really know where the one line ends and one begins. I guess Gen Z are all like 20-year-olds now. So it's probably Gen Alpha that are the early Gen Alphas that are getting into their teenage years. I think more than anything, it's just showing that they actually want movies, and movies never died, or the industry was never dying. It's just millennials and Gen Z were kind of, for whatever reason, were not as interested. But now that this younger audience is growing up, I think that what we're seeing is like that the magic of movies is still alive. It's just it was, for whatever reason, like a one group of people didn't want it, but younger people do want it. And I think you could connect that into the whole, like, they're so connected on the internet, but they're aware of how fake that is. And so going to the movies is actually like maybe not explicitly known, but it is an excuse to go and actually be with human beings, but also without being too social. And I think that younger people, kids crave social interaction. And so going to the movies with your friends is going to always have an appeal to it. And so I think combine that with the horror genre and combine that with these familiar people, like these YouTube horror movies show that IP is not just the IP as we understand it. It's not just a franchise of like He-Man action figures. It's like IP for the future generation is YouTubers and his personalities. And like streamers effectively. All these things are a form of IP. And this is just kind of showing that the same way that we had maybe a decade or two of studios mining anything IP, this is the next thing. We're going to have video games soon, and now we'll have these things where we'll have personalities come in and just say, you like me? Well, here's something that I made. That's what they grew up on.
I hope it doesn't become that shallow. It probably will, given the industry, but like these movies feel pretty pure in a lot of ways, right? Like the Markiplier movie, he funded that himself. As you said, it was guerrilla marketing. It was really his desire to get this movie made that made it happen. Obsession, on a shoestring budget, and has gone out there and done big things, and it's clearly Curry Barker's vision for this movie. And then Backrooms, like if you look at Kane Parsons and what he made before that, this is just an extension of what he was making on YouTube. And clearly he has a real passion for that as well. And I hope the hope is that it just doesn't become some shameless cash grab where every studio goes to find the streamer that they
horror film is coming
Mr. Beast
next year for sure.
or somebody like that. We're going to get anyway. I really hope
Beast
it doesn't
will be like
become
a reality-based horror show where people are actually getting killed off on an island.
People truly die.
I have a theory that nobody actually likes Mr. Beast and would not turn up for him unless they thought they were going to win money because they were there.
Damn,
I have a theory that he's not a human being. He's like a lizard person. Look at his eye. There's nothing behind his smile.
Google his teeth. And you'll see the truth.
I don't
Google
have time.
Brock Lesnar.
I can't go down that rabbit hole. Like, you're right, but the idea is that hopefully this remains pure. But as with anything, like we saw it after the Barbie Oppenheimer thing, where Hasbro then said we are making a Do I need to go through the? I don't want to find
Magic the Gathering movie.
Like Magic the Gathering, I think Care Bears is getting one. Like every single toy or property or thing that there is something of, and some of them have really good creative like minds behind them. But they're like, we're doing a movie based on that now, and because of what Greta Gerwig did with Barbie, and so I think it's already happening where video games are getting their thing after the success of Mario, and after the success of
Uncharted really kicked off that boom, didn't it?
Hey, Uncharted did awesome at the box office. Thank you very much. Like nearly 500 million.
No, we just finished talking about Tom Holland on our last podcast. I think that movie, it had some star power to it, sure, but nobody's talking about that movie.
Yeah, it was. Super Mario Brothers made $1 billion. So we got Zelda coming soon. Minecraft obviously was enormous.
Huge, yeah.
Like it's naturally going to happen where just executives coin on and say all these things could have value. Then there'll still be voices through it. Like I think Curry Barker, I watched one of his horror films just before doing this. And like he clearly has like been into this stuff forever. Like Jordan Peele has made 3 films and they're all his movies. Like I think we're also in a time where it's no longer individuals. Sorry, let me start again. The one good thing about this trend, I guess, is that by having a single persona or a personality behind it, is they are not as beholden to the industry as creators were 20, 30 years ago. So no longer is it like some nameless exec in the Warner Brothers lot can say, you make the film that I want you to do. Because like Backrooms is Kane Parsons' project. And he was, people like, there were there people guiding him and helping him like learn the craft of filmmaking on set. But it was his thing. Obsession was Curry Barker and his friends, like his comedy group, basically, who did this all themselves. Iron Lung is just Markiplier and like Troy Baker and a couple of other people. And so like from now going on here, if he says, I want to make this other film, and if Hollywood, the big film industry wants to get involved, they cannot call the shots on that. Markiplier will say, no, we're doing it this way. Curry Barker is sacred right now. Like that man has more power than like James Cameron, I feel. And it's like there will be no world where they'll say, oh yeah, we'll give you some money, but do it how we want. He would say, no, this is me 100%. And like execs will say, yes, sir, because they have seen that the personality is what draws more than the story, more than anything else. It's the name attached to it. And that could be a really good thing where then we won't get that sort of awkward sellout of I don't know, they're making the 7th film because they've contractually obligated for this. It'll be just like, no, if they want to make a movie, they will have a blank check and they will have complete creative freedom, which can still go wrong, you know? They can still get drunk on that. Like Curry Barker's next project, I think, is a Texas Chainsaw reboot, which some could argue is a really bad idea, but same time, this could be the best version of that than like the terrible 2000s remake sort of thing. So it's like I'm cautiously optimistic about this, honestly, more so than I have been about a lot of other trends.
The other thing it shows is that you don't have to have, huge studio backing to get it done, right? Like, two out of 3 of these at least didn't have that, right? Like Markiplier self-funded. I don't know how Curry Barker funded it, but it's only a $750,000 budget. Like that's not a lot. And in theory they could do that again if they had to, potentially.
Which is
although maybe not considering the
cinematography
criticism afterwards. Yeah. But yeah. All right. Shall we get into some stats?
Yes. Stats.
All right, Iron Lung had a budget of $3 million and made $50 million at the box office. Obsession, $750,000 budget, made $495 million at the worldwide box office. Absolutely nutty. And Backrooms, $10 million budget, made $393 million at the worldwide box office.
Can you say Iron Lungs for me again? Sorry, what was it?
$3 million budget, $50 million made. Entirely self-funded by Markiplier. Like, I don't think he had to pay anyone anything out of that money.
Yeah, no. Except for like the people who he paid, I guess, to do it. Yeah, there was no.
I'm sure there's some deals here and there and stuff, but
yeah, all the returns and the earnings basically go to him. Yeah, that is so much more than I thought. I thought it made like 5 or 10 million. Damn.
No, 50 million at the worldwide box office. 40 of that was US and Canada, so it's not like it was one of those ones that was big in China weirdly or something like that. Like, just made a decent amount of money.
750K for Obsession is insane. Like, that's an insane budget.
But if you look at their, like, I didn't realize I had been watching his stuff on YouTube here and there for a while. Like, I'd seen his shorts and stuff, and all of them are very well produced as well. Like, even to that standard, like they're all really well shot. He's obviously got an eye for it. He's made other short horror films as well, and they're even them have some interesting staging and stuff. I'm really keen to see where he goes in particular. Hopefully it wasn't a one hit wonder, but we'll see. The critical reception 54 for Iron Lung, Obsession was 77, and Backrooms 76.
Pretty positive.
Interesting.
Pretty positive.
All right, let's get into Iron Lung. In a post-apocalyptic future after the Quiet Rapture event, a convict explores a blood ocean on a desolate moon using a submarine called the Iron Lung to search for missing stars/planets.
Brian, my understanding is you have a Steam library of 10,000 games you've never played.
It's true, I do.
I assume Iron Lung is one of them?
No, it's not in my Steam library, and I haven't played it, but I weirdly did watch Markiplier play through this game, like way back when. It was like a thing on Reddit that came up about how it was, he was going to make a movie, like way back when he first said he was going to make a movie about it. And I watched his playthrough of it.
Okay, yeah. A, why? B, tell me about that. Like,
I mean, who doesn't have hours in the day that they waste on YouTube, for a start?
Did you enjoy his playthrough?
I like.
Do you enjoy Markiplier?
Markiplier's fine. I don't regularly watch his stuff by any means at all. I think his Iron Lung playthrough is the main thing of his that I have ever watched. I was curious about the game because the premise of it is really fascinating. I think like that log line at the start of the Quiet Rapture and stuff is an interesting setting for a game. The actual gameplay is exactly what you see in this movie. It's
moving the submarine around, taking photos.
Yeah, it's controlling. You're basically steering by coordinates on a map, and there's a beeping signal to tell you if there's something nearby, and you're basically looking at coordinates on the map. There's no vision outside the ship, and then you go over and press a button and take photos, and it builds a lot of atmosphere in that. Like, you'll take a photo of something and then take it again, and the thing will be gone. It'll seem like something's moving near you because the proximity sensors are going off. It has that moment where he's undoing panels at the back to find secret notes and stuff like that. Like, you explore this little submarine. And then the ending's very different. Like, this movie goes a lot further than that game does. The game is quite simple. But yeah, it seems like a really effective little horror game. He's translated the basics of it very well to this movie. This movie is a real mess, I must say. He needs to hire an editor next time he makes a movie, would be my opinion for a start. Like, this movie's at least 30 to 40 minutes too long. I mean, full respect to him, I think he's done a fine job. Considering, like, I wouldn't call him an actor, right? Like, he's a content creator. I think there's nothing in this that's so egregious that it made me, like, I don't know, super cringe or anything like that. I don't know. How did you guys feel about it? Like, of the three, I think it'd be pretty clear that this is the weakest. But I mean, for what he's made, I think it's okay.
So when I read the synopsis of this, and like I'd never heard of the game. I've heard of Markiplier. I've seen some of his stuff before, but I'd never heard of the game. But when I read the synopsis for this, I was so on board. I was like, that sounds dope as hell. I was like, I didn't know about the submarine. All I heard was like, oh, the quiet rapture, the stars are gone, like a planet where the ocean of blood. I was like, holy shit, this is cool. Okay, whatever. Like, I'm here for this. When I started, so that's all I knew. I didn't know about what the game was like or anything like that. So then we're starting this movie, like within a few minutes, I was like, the whole thing's going to be in this little submarine, isn't it? I was like, oh, I don't know if Markiplier has the riz to carry a 2-hour movie just with him acting in this little thing. And he does not. I found this, like, this was giving me 2001 A Space Odyssey vibes where I was just like, I don't know. Like, I just... like,
Such a weird comparison.
No, I know. Comparing Iron Lung to 2001 A Space Odyssey.
Word.
People are vomiting right now, but...
People are so mad at you, Luke.
Them same dudes that commented on our 2001 review are coming back like, oh my God, what did he just say? No, but as in, like, I just was just like watching it, just nothing. Like, I felt nothing for this movie. Like, I didn't enjoy it. I just was bored. I was like, I don't fully understand. Like, obviously, it's very bare bones of like what the story is and stuff like that. But I was like, surely this can't be it. I don't think he's a great actor. Even I must say, when I was pretty hyped at the start when our boy T Bakes popped up.
Good personal friend.
Good friend of the show, and I was like, oh, this is gonna be awesome. And I must say, like, I thought his acting was pretty bad as well. Even though he's just a voice over the box, I was like, this feels like a local acting class doing like a short film. Like, it feels like people.
I don't think you've watched enough bad acting.
I've seen some local produced films that. Conan, what was that? You did an acting class back in the day. You helped. I've seen some short films back in the day, and like it had pretty bad acting. You know, this gave me them vibes. I feel like
that is either huge praise for someone or a scathing insult to someone else.
But like, I don't know, the fact that this has like what 4-5 times the budget of Obsession is crazy.
I mean, I don't understand where that comes from. Like, I don't really. I guess it's the blood probably. Like this.
There is some special effects in this movie.
Yeah, there's CG and this movie holds the world record for the most fake blood used in a movie. So
I can tell.
It's like more than Evil Dead in 2013. Yeah, there's a lot. So I guess it's like half the budget was that. Yeah, I see what both of you are saying. I think Luke, you're being a bit harsh. Like, the acting definitely feels kind of like this is what a video game guy thinks acting should sound like. You know, the kind of like everyone sounds pretty badass. Everyone sounds a little bit more desperate, and like this is like it feels like a video game cutscene, which maybe is the aesthetic he's going for. But I think probably more so that's his sensibilities there. Of this is what I think this sounds like because this is what I do. I play video games for a living and film myself.
Yeah,
but you know that this is an indie project. Like all of that stuff, I think is fine in these. You expect a little bit of rough edges. Like, I have huge admiration for this movie. Yeah, like, independently funded. It is just on him. I don't really, like, I feel like I knew about this narrative loosely of this tiny game that came out and then reading about this movie, and it's like, he just obviously fell in love with it. Like, he just seemed to love this idea and was like, I want to make this. And so that's why he went and met David, was it Szymanski, the creator. And, like, I really admire that idea of just this person who's like just found a project, loved it so much, was like, I want to do more with this. And he wanted to make a film. He wants to obviously go out of the content creator realm a little bit. He wants to make a movie and be a film, like a director, but he's not in that system. And so all this stuff is like an incredible feat. And like to his credit, he's a performer. He's not an actor. And he's giving a very one-note performance in this. You know, there's a lot of swearing and a lot of banging.
Just a lot of swearing.
And a lot of swearing. Swearing was very noticeable, yeah.
And a lot of just, I'm angry and like sad. And the amount of times he says, "What's the point?" is you play a drinking game, you'd probably die from the amount of times. That being said, still like pretty effective for most part. Feels claustrophobic. There's a lot of interesting stuff, like engaging, cool questions. Like, I fell asleep during a couple of times, but that's not his fault so much. As you said, Grant, this movie just needs to be like cut 40 minutes.
Yeah.
Ace Ventura is like 80 minutes long, and it's one of the greatest comedies of the 20th century.
Perfect.
Like, why is this movie 2 hours and 5 minutes? I'll never understand. Like, yeah, that's the weirdest thing. I don't understand fully that. And then I don't know if necessarily some of the abstractness translates properly. Like, I haven't played the game, but from what I've read and heard, like it's kind of like that trying to find your way through the mystery is half the experience. And in this, you're not finding your way through the mystery. You're having someone else do that. And then it goes full cosmic horror, kind of weird at the end. And it's like, you never know what's real, what's not. He never knows what's real, what's not. And sort of all that stuff is really hard to do properly. A lot of movies get criticized, rightly so, when they don't do that well, of like, oh, what was real? You can never tell. Therefore, I don't have to worry about continuity or actually making sense. I can just have a mystery. And that's kind of what this feels like, where he never knows what's going on, and so we never know. And that's not good, where there's never a clear sense of like, are you just, like, honestly, what? Like, what?
Is this just all a hallucination? Is this someone's dream? Like, it could be anything. I totally agree. And like all of that stuff is invented for the movie. Like, there's no real sense of that in the game. Like, the game has some weird stuff, like you take photos and it looks like cars and cities and stuff. Yeah, and then, there's obviously that fish skeleton thing that you see a lot here. Like, there's all of that. But the whole thing that the game comes down to is there is something alive in there and it kills you at the end. Like, spoiler, that's it. Like, a fish swallows the whole ship, and that's the, like, it's a big jump scare moment at the end, and that's the whole game. Like, there's no there's no like cosmic anglerfish thing going on. There's no other survivors that you talk to on the radio and you're not sure if they're real. Like, there's none of that.
I saw a lot of comments that were just like, this movie must be scary to anybody that lives outside of Australia, because this is kind of just fishing in Australia. You just encounter these sorts of fish, you know? But I think I don't know. Did you find the horror of it? Were you ever like, there's no jump scares, I feel like. There's no... How do you feel the atmosphere? Because I didn't feel the atmosphere built for me. Like, I didn't feel like the tension.
I think it was, as Conan said, it was fairly claustrophobic. I think there's some okay body horror at the end, like where he rips his arm off because he's like getting mutated with the ship. Like, that was... I was like, I don't really want to watch this, which I think is the effect it was supposed to have, right? But...
It ruined my dinner. That's for sure. I was like, I'm not eating these sausages anymore. That's a lot of blood.
I wasn't like so engaged that, I wasn't feeling like the sense of, oh, there's something going on outside the ship and I can't see it, but it's it's causing me anxiety like a better film might. But like, I don't know. I read a review and it was the gist of it was the story of this movie getting made is better than this movie. And I think you could actually say that about all three of these movies to varying degrees, right? Like, the story of them getting made and where they came from adds to the movie. And so for this one, like you said, Conan, I'm really impressed by what he's done and managed to self-fund and create himself. Like, huge achievement, clearly. I think he just... honestly, I think if he hired an editor, this movie would bump up a level pretty easily.
And I think like the next movie he makes will be will be a lot better, because you can tell he's not really like an actor in that sense. And so he's doing a good job. Like, there was never a moment where I'm like, oh, he's clearly just he's reading lines and doesn't know what he's doing. It's just he doesn't really know how to get into the nuance of his performance. And I'm like, once he's figured all that stuff out a bit better, and like, this has got a lot of really cool shots and a lot of like interesting visual, like directorial choices. You know, a lot of weird angles, a lot of interesting camera work. Like he does a lot with so little, being in one location. Like this could just be a really bland. The camera just sits there and does nothing interesting. But there's a lot of cool, creative ways to get you invested and like to make you think of, I don't know, like seeing the ship in a different way. So all of that is like really good effort. But again, that makes me admire it more than like enjoying it. It was watching it. I'm like, this. It's a very, very boring for the most part.
Yeah, like using the light to like guide himself to the back of the ship and try and uncover some mysteries there. Like that's interesting. Like he's got to keep turning the light on to see what he's doing, but then it just goes on too long. Like it's just too much.
It felt very video gamey, and nothing happens. Like you kept expecting that thing to pop up when he like presses the light again, like for something as a jump scare.
That's right. Like it just goes on a bit too long, and it just doesn't build enough atmosphere, I think. And like I think all the lore that he adds outside of, you know, him supposedly being a terrorist on the space station, I guess is what happened, is what's implied and stuff like none of that really worked for me. And I think actually the lore works better in smaller doses. Like I think I need a little less explanation about what's going on in this world and a little more mystery.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like obviously you need something emotional to connect to him as a character. You can't just have him be completely blank and like So I guess like if you have even an hour and a half with this guy who's just like, I'm a convict. Like yeah, that works in a video game because you are that person. So you're the character. Whereas in this, you're expected to sit with this person and be like, okay, I need to empathize with you. I need to relate to you.
But you don't.
And if he's just doing nothing and occasionally talks to someone on the radio, I think that makes it a worse movie because there's no sense of like, why do I care at all about this person? And so it's kind of, you can see what he's trying to do. Yeah, he's trying to, you know, he keeps saying it's not my fault. I didn't mean this to happen. But I agree, all the sort of trying to flesh out, like, I guess it was a space station with the last tree and they were something was trying to do something and it blew up. I don't know. He doesn't do...
Exactly.
Yeah, on one hand, he doesn't go far enough with it, but on one hand, he shouldn't go... He went too far with it. It's...
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I guess doing everything himself makes the story of this movie impressive. I feel like just... I don't know. For me, seeing Obsession and knowing that it was like a quarter of this budget makes me go, okay, well, it's not that impressive, if you know what I mean. Like that's what fights against me. I'm like, okay, Obsession was accomplished with so much less. Like with his budget, surely that's not an excuse of like, oh wow, he did this. You know what I mean?
But I think for me,
like,
the things that
but I mean, like,
the budget,
I don't know.
the things that the budget went to, which is probably special effects and blood, like I think most of that works okay.
Yeah,
like I can see where that money went. But
like,
I mean, you're right. I just think it's a weird.
I feel like the body horror in
comparison.
Obsession is better. I feel like the body horror in Obsession is better. And I mean, like, how much is a cinematographer or an editor these days? Like, they're pretty cheap. Wouldn't have blown the budget, surely. Too much. I don't know. I feel just like seeing this after seeing them other. Like, I remember being blown away by Obsession. Like, its budget for that movie because I was like, oh my god, that's crazy. And then watching this, it just doesn't feel. I was like, surely the budget for this is pretty low tier. Like he's just, but I don't know.
No, I mean, for me, it's more of a sense of like with Obsession, again, like an incredible achievement as well. But that almost feels less to me because he comes from like a filmmaking past. He's made all these shorts. And so like he knows how to do this. He's working with his, the guy who plays his best friend is the collaborator. They're part of a group, I guess. I don't know what they are, but like his team. And so these are like his friends and his people. It's shot,
like
in like
white Key and Peele.
That's basically, yeah. And like Obsession takes place in about 3 locations. It's all shot at night. Like these are not insults, but it's this guy knows how to make a movie. So seeing him do it's like you would sort of expect that. Whereas I don't think Markiplier has any idea how to do that. And so him sort of making this, like you expect there to be he doesn't know how to save money. He doesn't know how to do this. He doesn't know how to actually. He probably pays more for certain things. And then
someone was like, $2 million for this gallon of blood, and he's like, okay.
Yeah, and he was like, I don't know how much blood goes for,
Shit,
so like,
right.
I suppose.
Son of a bitch, I'm in.
This is real blood, right?
Yeah, he's pretty pissed off now, but at the time he was just so excited. And like he had to build a different set, like to build a set that they do all the stuff in, and the blood itself, like that is actually a lot more of a logistical nightmare to do than let's go and film in a dark street at night, or an empty car park at night, or in a house where it's just the 3 actors and the crew. Like,
no, like so that thing. One was filmed like obviously made smartly, I guess you would say. But
Yes.
yeah, I get it, and I get that. I don't understand like the cost of how stuff works with like blood and set and all that sort of stuff. But
Could kill a lot of people to get 300 liters of blood.
Yeah, I guess you had to pay all the people in the cartel.
A lot of people are dead for this movie, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I'm probably just treating it too harshly because it was boring.
Like conceptually, this movie is on a different level to Obsession 2. Like this is taking place in a blood moon in a submarine. Like I don't know.
I also just think that synopsis when I read it, I was like, holy shit, this is so cool, and it just didn't deliver on that. Like obviously the synopsis doesn't even mention anything. It's just about being in a submarine. So I was expecting this really cool sci-fi with like, oh, the stars, they're all dead. Like this is going to be super fascinating. Like I went in with much higher expectations where I knew the reviews weren't great, but I was still like, oh, the setting and all this, like the world that's a pretty cool, intriguing thing. And to just be like, it's a boring convict in a submarine for 2 hours, pressing the flashlight over and over again. I'm like, shit, that's not what I was expecting. So I'm sorry, Markiplier. You're happy for you to come on the show and explain the budget between the blood and stuff like that. But yeah,
that's fair. Right.
Yeah. Let's move on to Obsession.
Seems like a cool dude.
Yeah. When Bear breaks a one-wish willow to force a non-consensual relationship, a mind control curse traps his co-worker Nikki Freeman inside a nightmare scenario caused entirely by his unhinged obsession.
Nikki Freeman, and she's not very
free. Man.
Bear, like man or bear, which is worse?
There's layers shit!
Layers.
Oh shit! I didn't even think of that.
His co-worker Predator, who's a predator, like.
Oh man, pedo. Peter.
It's all on the nose.
Yeah, this movie, I really like this movie. I obviously there was a hype around it when it first came out, and I at the time I was just like, I went and watched a few. I went and watched Backrooms and this sort of back to back, and they were like the talk of the town that weekend kind of thing. And so I went and watched this, and it just. I don't know. It was one of them movies where it's one of those horror movies where you're not like scared, but I was like kind of like cackling. I was like, oh my God, this is crazy. Like this is like this stuff in the car, like even just like her monologue, you're kind of like, this is batshit insane. The acting is so good. Like Indy, I don't know how to pronounce her last name, Grana? Never ready. Is a standout, and like I feel like this is one of her. Is this her first performance, or has she done other smaller stuff before?
She's done other stuff.
Yeah, okay, but obviously breakout performance in this.
Yeah.
So good, and it's just like I've seen it now twice, I think. Twice, and both times it was just this movie is a lot of fun for a horror movie. Some good laughs as well. Like when there's laughs. Whether that's at poor Bear's expense or somebody else's expense, but. I don't know. It's just this movie is really effective, and I can't believe it was done with $750,000. That's crazy. You're
just a money man, aren't you? Like you judge every movie by its budget.
No, but it's seriously impressive. And like, how much is it done at the box office? 500 million. Incredibly successful. Like what a story.
Grana.
Yeah, I really love this movie. This is my kind of horror. Like not super scary. But I thought about it a lot afterwards. Like, I don't know. It just had an impact on me to some degree, but I wasn't, like, worried if I was going to sleep that night or if I was going to piss my pants. You know, I knew I was in for a good time. Like a Jordan Peele movie. Like, I know I'm going to enjoy his version of horror. Am I going to be a bit scared here and there? Sure. Am I going to have a laugh sometimes? Sure. Like, I think like him, he's... in this movie got a really good balance between, building tension and these scary moments as well as having that release and that, a bit of levity. Indy Navarrete has been popping up in my algorithm a lot lately. She's obviously just incredibly charming. Bear's pretty good too. Like he gives a good performance. Good. Obviously he's not, going to be the standout, but he's great. Yeah, and just I don't know. I had a really good time with this movie.
Unknowns, like it is good to see unknowns in a movie, and I think that I think Bear's really good in this. Like, he's a piece of shit. You know what I mean? No matter how many times it seems like there's chances to redeem himself, he doesn't. It's something somebody pointed out that I saw a comment and I didn't even realize. Like even at the end, like when he buys the 2 wishes, he's trying to get his friend to make a wish that he never made a wish, so then he can do the wish again and figure out some other way he can trap her and get the girl still. You know, even and this is after she's destroyed his other best friend's face, like on a steering wheel. He's still like, okay, I got to make some adjustments here. He's like, I still want the girl, but I still need to figure this out. Not like it's there's a lot of intriguing stuff that's like going on in this movie. Like, you know, you got the shop store owner who sells the thing. There's the phone line that he rings, and it's just this super chill dude. It's just like,
that's the director.
Did you want to make a refund? And he's like, yes, I want to put in the request. He's like, we don't really do that. He's like, why'd you make it sound like there's a process for this? And like she's screaming in the background, so it's like there's this whole weird cosmic thing of like the real one's trapped somewhere in this place. It's just, I don't know. It is a fascinating movie. I really enjoyed it. Conan, how did you feel?
Yeah, I
know you hated on Letterboxd.
You wanted to hate it, right?
I don't know why you people think I'm just a contrarian.
I wonder why.
I don't really know how to talk about this movie and say something that hasn't already been said, because like there is so much to say about this movie. I feel like if I start, I'm going to ramble on for like 40 minutes.
Go man, go.
No, I don't know where to start. This is more in common with the comedian horror pipeline than it is the YouTube horror. Like this is much more reminiscent of Get Out or like Bring Her Back, like the Philippi Brothers first movie, and like Barbarian or Weapons, like Zach Creepy stuff. Like these, like you're saying, a Top Grinder, like this sort of this line they straddle of like it's horror but it's not too scary, and it's funny, and like there's this constant moment of like in this movie, like you're laughing probably more than you are actually being scared.
Yeah.
But at a certain point, you start to realize, wait up, I'm laughing at how uncomfortable this is, or how insidious this is, or how, like, you laugh and then you realize, oh, wait, this actually isn't funny.
That person's dead. Yeah.
Yeah. Or like, I'm laughing at the fact that she is doing something awful and it's kind of awkward. But you're like, oh, wait a minute, it's because she's trapped in this. There's like this sort of cosmic layer of like the comedy is how you approach it socially. And it's the same with Get Out, where you're constantly laughing at like, haha, white people doing funny white people things.
Yeah, or would have voted for Obama for a third term if they could.
Like, that's exactly it. You laugh at how uncomfortable that makes you feel because you know there's something underneath it. And then once the horror sort of comes out each moment, it's also undercut, but also more cutting as a result. It's like a really great little... It's not a subgenre, but it's just like this sort of weird form of horror. Like,
it's a warm transition into horror for people who aren't big horror fans to be like, oh yeah, I'm watching that new horror movie. Like
that's right, yeah, and I think that's part of the I think that's part of the reason of its success. Like the because that's again what's more interesting to me about this movie is the fact that this is like probably the biggest success story of the year, probably the biggest success story of like the past 20 years, one of the biggest success stories in film history, and I say that like not flippantly. No. The earning of this, like this is one of very few movies to ever have an increasing box office. I think it's like the last one before this was E.T. that had a better third week, than it did like second week. That never happens. It is historically impossible unless you were Steven Spielberg. Yep. And this is the strangest movie where for weeks, until like week 4 and week 5, it was increasing in performance. And the word of mouth and the TikTok element of it all was unfathomable, and the way it just sort of permeated all culture. Luke, like you were saying, people who's like my mum's talking about it, and my parents are thinking about going to see Obsession. It's like, what the fuck are they doing? Why are they seeing this movie? Yeah. But it's because just the sheer sort of gravity of it, and like the runaway success of this unknown little film, and like Indy Navarrette's crazy performance that is like once in a generation, like
iconic, like. So many little things she does, like the frown, the huge frown, just like the way she'll scream next to his face. Like that's an iconic, almost meme, but you know what I mean? That's like
it is like that is a meme. Like you put that face in a meme now, and like everyone sort of knows it, understands it. Like this movie has sort of everything like that. It has instant memeability. It has like the underdog success story. It has the out of nowhereness. So it also had the kind of you can like 15-year-olds can be like, I saw this before, it was cool.
Yeah.
This is like just this fascinating movie that ticks every single box, and it's kind of like it's like the holy grail of indie films, kind of that you want to do, whether it's success, it's cultural impact, its story, and all of this stuff. And then it's enhanced by there was that long news story about the DP who was bitching and moaning about it, saying I should have been paid more. I was only paid like $7,000 for this. This is really unfair, which is like a fair issue, but also like that's how jobs work. So it's kind of like this
business move.
No, and like that kind of kept it relevant on there. And then on top of that, like the movie is really good. Is the movie as good as its reception would have you believe? No. Like, it's the other hand of me is that this should not like this movie making so much money is not because it's the greatest horror film ever made. And that's what's so interesting to me is like, why is this movie doing better than any of these other movies? Why is this movie, and it is in no way because it's like this is the best film we have ever seen. It's a really good film. I'm not doubting that. But like,
sounds like it.
See, I knew it happened.
Sounds like you're taking
shots. As soon as I say it's not great, it's sinners all over again. Like,
you're right, Conan. Like, it's the whole sum of its parts that's really fascinating, right? Like, yeah, like you say, the underdog story and the viral marketing of it and the word of mouth. Like, everything just seems to be working together for this movie to be just the biggest thing ever.
Yeah. Like, I think you put it in a
really crazy
lightning
way.
In a bottle.
It's almost like they cracked a one wish willow and said, I want this to be the most profitable movie versus its budget ever.
Profitable horror movie in the
Fucking
entire
Curry
world. Yep.
Yeah, I don't know. It's fascinating time, like really exciting time to live through this. I can't wait for 20 years to tell my kids, yeah, I was there when Obsession was happening. They're like, what? You know,
We just watched Obsession 7.
President Curry Barker used to make movies. Like, oh, he did. Trust me. But yeah, I'm just also like, why is this the movie that everyone's like saying is so great? And it's because it's like, yeah, it's memeability and the story and the content of it is really interesting. Like the story, because there was this debate that sort of was raging a little bit of like, who's the bad guy? And it seems pretty obvious who the bad guy is, but it did at least raise questions for you to. There is a way to look at this of like, hold up, it's not just a simple cut like one overly good, one overly bad. Like this raised debate, and there's lots of moments there of like, this is a little bit nuanced, and that's why some people were like, oh, well, Bear's not a bad guy. It's like, but that's the problem. He's a nice guy. It's like, yeah, but there's this and there's that, and like that kind of fascinating question at the core of it.
Which is like a timely thing, I think, but it's because it's interesting because obviously when you start this movie, it has the traditional thing of like, oh yeah, I want to root for this guy. Oh, the poor guy, he's like 100%. Trying to get the girl. His cat's passed away. Like, is this that guy? And 100%, it's like, oh, I feel for this guy. Like he seems like a good dude. He's just like that. He's friend zoned or something. You know what I mean? Like it's that awkward thing. And as it goes on, and like when you actually think about a lot of stuff that happens, because obviously he does that wish, and it's not like he's going to think that this is what's going to happen from it.
I've seen some people be critical of him for the wish, but it's like,
who would think it's going to work?
Who thinks it's going to be real? Yes, you can look back at it and say, well, that's a really selfish wish. But also, like, he's playing with what he thinks is a toy. I don't know.
Yeah.
Again, not justifying him because he is a bad guy.
People did love spells. Like, people did shit like this. Like, this is like a thing that, you know, teenagers would do these things and, like, think of it as jokes and all this sort of stuff. Do you guys think Nikki liked Bear before the wish?
I think that exact
what was
question
your read?
Like, no, this is the thing. This question has no answer. Curry Barker intentionally shot this twice. Like there's takes where sometimes she's flirting, sometimes she's not. And so he knows what he's doing, right? He knows he is fueling this debate, and he knows people are going to be like, was she actually cock teasing him? Was he actually looking into it when there's not anything there, or what?
Yeah.
And like there's a good read of like, this is probably the strongest part about the script is that there's all this subtle stuff. Like, I think the way I read it is I think Nikki's actually a bit of a shit because she has no real friends. No one seems to actually really like her. She seems a little bit fake. Like, you know, there's the scene where she gives the $20 to the homeless person, but she borrows $20 off a friend to give. Like, that's a real shit thing to do.
Yeah, she takes...
She's like with his friend on the side.
And she, like, her and her best... And, like, this whole friend group is really awful and toxic.
Yeah.
And it's like... You can sort of like... And obviously everything that happens to her is awful and you are rightfully sympathetic for because she's the victim in this. But it's also not like she was like, did kind of like him and he just pushed it too far. It's like, this is just a bunch of shitty people and he does an awful thing and then everyone's kind of bad. And
I don't think Sarah did anything wrong, right?
No, she didn't. In fact, she's the
about
one
the
that
only
liked
innocent
Bear from
one.
the start.
Yeah.
she got her head caved in. She should have fought back.
I mean, there's another version of this
Stop
movie
being
where
shit, Sarah.
where at the end he realizes he should have been with Sarah the whole time and they live happily ever after. But
Yeah.
no, fascinating movie. And like even seeing some subreddits where they're like, oh, you know, they use this movie as one of their red flag checkers and they like, you know, on a first date they'll talk about obsession and get the man's opinion on Bear and stuff, and that's
Like,
how they determine whether they
my man Bear was hard done by. This bitch whack. She crazy, man. I don't know. There's a lot of effective shots in this movie though, where Nikki's like in the dark, and you can tell like they put like an AI filter on like her face, like she seems unnatural, like when she's like
No, it's makeup.
in the
Have you
corner
not
of the
seen
dark
it?
room.
It's makeup.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh,
they
it
paint
looks
her
really
eyes
artificial.
over her eyelids and stuff. Like,
Oh shit! Okay, no, I haven't seen any. I actually haven't seen any behind
the scenes stuff is really interesting because even in that scene where she's carrying the flower pot and stuff, that's like a dancer, like so that she flows through the room really strangely and stuff. Like,
oh okay.
This Curry Barker guy knows what the hell he's doing. Like,
This is a spicy curry.
He's he's a spicy director, I reckon. I'm really keen to see what he comes up with because
Give him Iron Lungs budget, and whew, we've got the greatest movie of all time. So much blood. But like that's the thing. There's just so many cool. Like there's even the shot where he's looking at her through the door where she comes to his house, and just like the way her eyes are like glowing, like you can tell like, oh, this is a demon that's possessed her body almost. Like this isn't her. It's just I don't know, a lot of effective stuff in this.
Yeah, those little moments are the really scary, like the proper horror bits, and they're really effective. There's like whenever she moves weird. There's the scene where she's kind of like moving backwards. That was so unsettling. Like he comes in and sees her through the door, and she's like slithering backwards. That freaked me out more than anything else because it's just like
something so simple, like it's just unnatural. Like
but it's just like this is wrong. It's like and then in another scene like that, she's running backwards. It's like she's being reversed, like a tape playing backwards.
Yeah,
and all these like little things that doesn't fixate on it, doesn't stay on it too long. It's just little quirks, and then obviously the scene where she's in the corner of the room and she's got the makeup on is like super duper unsettling. Really effective, like more than it would be if you focused purely on that. Like all the horror then comes from the social element of going to a party with a demon that's obsessed with you and telling Hansel and Gretel erotic fanfics. Shit like that. Like,
do you guys think you would be able to tell if you were eating a cat in a sandwich?
Yeah, there's some plot holes here.
Do you know what cat tastes like?
Genuine curious. Maybe it's just chicken.
How do you not know the smell? How does the smell not alarm you straight away that there's a...
He's gone through some trauma. He's had a pretty weird week. He's just despondent, you know? He's just like eating sandwiches.
The bigger plot hole is how does a music store have 5+ employees?
Full-time employees.
Honest to goodness.
Yes, that doesn't make a lot of sense. Yeah, look, a few things that I don't know. How do they afford going out to a bar every night? How does he own this house? I guess it's his grandma's house, but like, how's he paying property tax on that?
He's got this full-time job at the music store.
I guess, it's a high-paying job at the music store.
He's hit all of his sale quota. He's like getting commish every day.
He's selling 1,000 guitars a week, apparently. And
we had all that duct tape come from the door, you know? Like,
yeah. I do love that the way this plays with supernatural, where wishes just exist, and it's never it's never like that's never
Rabbit's
the crutch
foot?
of this. Yeah, it's when you think about your right story, it's like, well, that becomes the only concern, and everyone's like, I wish for this, but like the curiosity shop owner is just like, oh yeah, they're over there, and he obviously made a wish, and he knows they work, and it's like that's just part of life. Like it's kind of the banality of it, and like the hotline.
Yeah,
it's just really funny where they just exist, and it's like life goes on though. It's never about just the wish. There's just this supernatural element here, and we just.
It's funny, like he goes on like that forum, and it's like one comment is it absolutely works, and the next one is absolutely doesn't, and the next one is absolutely does. Like it's 50-50. It's literally like some people are like, this is bullshit. What happened? Why did it not work for some people? Why did it not work for some people?
Well,
they get the fakes, maybe.
Do you think Bear thinks it worked, or do you think he's still like? that's kind of part of this thing, is that his whole dilemma is that he thinks, I think he's constantly telling himself that it's not working. He's like, no, she sort of wants to
Did
be
it
with him.
work?
It's not real.
Did it work?
Yeah, like
is Nikki actually just crazy? Like, freaky Nikki? Who knows?
like there's a part of it I think that he still believes that he's like, oh no, this is maybe she's just going through some stuff, or she's just like, she does like me, and he's trying to convince himself that maybe it's not fully real. So, you know,
yeah.
all those people on forums would think the same. What is it? One of them says like, my mum used to be really ugly, but now she's beautiful.
Yes.
What is that? Yeah,
But
no, but like really good film. It is really good. I don't want to sound like I'm some nigga, because I'm not. But
get a load of this guy, horror dude, just hating on the biggest horror film of the year. Yeah, I don't know. The idea of the ending of this movie, like the Nikki character, like what an awful ending for her to like wake up in this trance. Her three friends, one like all dead around her, some brutally murdered, and the police outside basically.
yeah,
like, you can't talk your way out of this. Like you done for. You're becoming one of the worst serial killers of all time, sort of thing. You're going to be on a Netflix documentary, you know. So, Freaky Nikki, and it's going to be called Freaky Nikki. So
she's gonna hate that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, not a great for her.
No, a lot of therapy. a lot of therapy required.
Absolutely.
All right, let's move on to our final movie, Backrooms. After a therapist's patient disappears into a dimension beyond reality, she must venture into the unknown to save him. So Backrooms, based on a creepypasta, on a internet meme about liminal space and finding an area beyond the back of a building or whatever that's just goes on forever, with beige walls and fluorescent lighting. It's an interesting like concept, like very strange.
Yeah, like what a weird idea to then go on and make a movie about, but like, I don't know, it shows the power of the internet in that it can tap into a collective idea that no one really thought about, where someone shares a photo of like, you know that feeling when you see an uncanny space, and it was like, yes, we do know that feeling.
Here are other examples, and everyone's like, yeah, I agree. Like,
yeah, everyone jumps on it. Someone writes a short story, and everyone's like, 100% we get this, and then just kind of takes off. Like,
yeah,
really, like feels kind of really pure. Of just these are people. This is what the internet used to do, where people would just share things and experiences and be like, there are other people who have had this, even though if they're not in my own little town or my home or my family. Like there's a community here, and yeah, like this movie's sort of inception is based on that, which is really interesting. And then, yeah, no, had you guys heard of Kane Parsons or like the Backroom stuff, like his series?
No, not till this came out. Yeah,
I've seen it since. I've seen a few of his videos since then. I feel like clips. Like I felt like people were talking about, like similar to like Siren Head or any. Like I felt like I know these horror characters that are talked about on the internet. But I never really had much personal experience with it. I feel like it was probably a generation younger than me that was into that sort of thing. But yeah, like I think it's a cool success story from where he's gone to, because he's 20 years old when he directed this.
He was 19 when he was making this. He's 20 years old now.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Like that's insane, and it obviously did very well at the box office, on its budget. Obviously not. I guess it was a bit bigger.
Obviously, it's shit compared to Obsession, but Obsession.
I mean, where did that $10 million go, Luke? Right?
Exactly.
Building Backrooms.
Obsession was made with 750. You know, in a cave with a box of scraps. But like this thing, I was hyped for this movie, and I enjoyed it. I've seen this movie 3 times now.
Jeez,
maybe or twice. No, 3 times. My issue with this movie is it does a lot of cool stuff. I feel like the opening is my favorite part of the movie, like where it is like his YouTube videos, and it's very much like this, the old, you know, you can hear like the fluorescent lights of just like he's walking around with the video camera, like almost first person view of just like the frantic running away from something. And I was like following it through, and then he goes in there, and I was like really along for the line. He gets to the 2 young people in there with him, the camera people. I feel like it's all effective till then. I just feel like it never really gets to a third act. Like I feel like we're still in the process. Like I feel like it's not a satisfying resolution for me. I feel like it just sort of doesn't tell much. And I guess that's the point of Backrooms. There's not much to tell, but it just feels, I don't know how to explain it. There's just something that doesn't really resolve for me. Where I'm
Yeah,
like, that was the. It wasn't the journey. It was the friends we made along the way. You know, like it was. There's nothing to it. It kind of just ends and leaves you with a weird feeling.
it was the people we ate along the way. Yeah, it's a
Exactly.
weird. It is a weird movie to have. Like, it's a weird concept to build a movie around, and give the audience make them feel like they have some kind of resolution. You're right. I agree. I think for me the most effective section of this movie is the found footage style. You know, the shaky cam where they fall down that hole. Like, why the fuck are they going down that hole? But like all the places you can explore in this place, and you're going to go down this stupid hole that you can't get back up from. Anyway, like that whole sequence, which is obviously very similar to his YouTube shorts or YouTube series, cool. is really interesting and cool. I think the more it tries to explain what's going on, the less interesting it is. Like, I don't think it ever gives a compelling explanation for what's going on. No. I don't know. I was a bit bored by this movie, to be honest.
And I feel like it was made even worse that we watched the extended cut with an extra 18 minutes of just similar scenes. But to be honest, I kind of enjoyed that more than some of the movie.
Yeah.
Like, it's more found footage stuff. But
I almost didn't want it to be at the end, right? Like, it didn't feel right watching that after the credits to some degree.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just tacked on. Yeah, the moviness of it is, I think, the weakest part. Like, because there's two things going on here. There's him exploring his like idea of just showing the liminal space, and then there's the narrative around that. And like the first half of the movie, in the first half of the movie, there's a huge chunk that is just Chiwetel Ejiofor walking through here, and just kind of the slow burn, kind of uncomfortableness of like, where the hell is he? And it is just the liminal space, and he's just like going through, and there's weird stuff, and everything's the same, and it's hard to sort of keep track of. And that is all of that stuff, I think, is the effective use. Like, that's what the horror comes from in here, of like, you're in something banal and monotonous and familiar, but because of that, it is completely alien and foreign and unknowable and unfamiliar. And that's a really cool idea. But then you also, if you're making a movie, you need a story. Like, you kind of need to have something more here. And it's an admirable attempt, but the whole narrative of like, I don't know, the whole movie-ness and the narrative story of it kind of doesn't work. But then it's interesting because it's all about, it's therapy, right? It's all trauma. And like, it's a real 2026 sensibility of a story that, this is set in the 90s. And it's kind of like, all the content is dealing with like the old school ads and sort of like the what's it called? The physical, so not analog, the analog horror sort of stuff. Like, this is all seen through like the lens of this Gen Z kid who clearly didn't grow up on this, but hasn't learned about it. And so it's like, it's an interesting lens of like this guy trying to understand his past or the past, but with modern sensibilities. And that's why the story is kind of like therapizing in a lot of ways, like, because they both have trauma, and this trauma is what makes this place. But there's all these great ideas here of like, of AI and of our past and how we are made of our past, and how what is memory, and how nothing goes away, and how do we change that, and what do we do with it, and like the internet itself being kind of a problem. Like, all these great ideas that work in shorts and in YouTube-ness because you can just make a 20-minute episode of that. But when you make it as a narrative, you have to have a story and you have to have this stuff. And that kind of, by trying to use that to explore the concept of like the therapy and his past and these demons and her trauma being why they are here, I think is kind of like the natural choice, but the wrong choice. I would have preferred just a more clear-cut, like a rescue story. I don't know. Like, his ex-wife comes looking for him or something, versus a therapist who also needs to go to therapy looking for him, and they're both trying to get through their trauma. But yeah,
because you like trauma in horror.
I'm a big trauma guy, yeah. Everyone knows that trauma is the best thing to do with horror films.
Do you feel like it explores that fully?
No, that's what I'm sort of saying. Like,
Yeah.
the nature of the back rooms, as I think a horror concept, is that nothing is explored, or is it like it's ideas and feelings and senses rather than answers. When you start to give the answers of, oh, there's a monster and the monster comes from here, it's like, okay, so this is just another dimension then, I guess, that eats your past, but the layers of like, once you give answers to that, it becomes sort of less abstract and known. And it's antithetical to the very idea of like this familiar but unknowable horror. And so I think the movie tries to explore that, but you can't explore that. And so I think like the whole conversation where she's captured and he's like, eating the puppets and it's like the cotton candy insides, and then Pyra Clark comes out. Like all of it's kind of funny and cool, but also like this is really where it collapses.
Do you think?
Why are you
do you
giving
think
me
the
a monologue
pirate?
about this?
Do you think the pirate eats him because he saw him eating them?
No,
So he's like, oh, I can do this. Do you see? Is there like, because I had a feeling watching this, and obviously with the final shot of the movie sort of thing, is there a commentary around this around like AI, like replicating but not being, like not really capturing it, sort of thing, that uncanny valley?
I think that's like there's a clear way to read it is that way, yeah. And to his credit, like it never goes to try to say that explicitly. He's never like, this is being generated by some system knowing this. It's just like
the day they turned on the AI data centers, the Backrooms started appearing or something like that, right? Like it's never that on the nose. And like any good movie, it gives you different themes you can read into it and interpret it and feel from it and take away from it. And I think it's effective at asking some questions, but you're right. As soon as it tries to give you answers, it's like, oh, this is just like it's antithetical to what the Backrooms really is, right? Like it feels very strange when it starts trying to deal with the trauma.
Yes, yeah. I just feel like that was the trauma thing really frustrated me. But much like both all these other films, Obsession and Iron Lung, like an incredible story. Like this is an incredible feat for a 19-year-old to make. Yeah, it pisses me off because I'm 32 and I've done nothing comparative. And this kid's just like, I was making these films in high school and then I'm now doing this.
With these like good Hollywood actors. Like I've directed a movie with these bona fide stars.
And like there was a lot of authoritarian voices here that helped. Like Osgood Perkins was like helped a lot by producing. The Duplass, was it Mark Duplass, who's in this movie? Like they were all helping. Markiplier was probably there as well.
Yeah, like, do you need blood? Do you need blood? I got more.
I've got to sell this to make my money back. I need to move this.
Only $2 million.
But still, like an incredible feat. And like this movie is really good. And so it's not even like he made a shit movie, but he made a movie. It's like he made a good movie.
Yeah,
and is making bank. Like and the studio is probably very happy about this decision, right?
We're going to get Backrooms too. Like surely, for sure.
Absolutely. Was it the Blumhouse? Jason Blumhouse made incredible money on this. Like this is one of those savviest business decisions, and like giving Kane Parsons the keys to this is the really wise idea. Like there's another reality where they take this idea and they sort of skirt around him because they're like, oh, it's based off an internet thing that no one owns, and we've got to hire some shitty director that we're going to hire Brett Ratner to do this because he's cheap and easy, and then it ends up becoming a really bad horror film. But
Ratner's a weird pull for this. But
that's a weird pull.
I was trying to think of movies.
He's busy making Melania too. Okay.
Yeah, that's right. He's anyway, but by being like, no, this is the guy who sort of helped make this, and this is the guy who people would know and recognize. Like that was a risk to bring him in, but it's like the smartest choice he could have made, and it's really paying off. So,
Also, this movie's A24, not Blumhouse. Blumhouse was Obsession.
So no, Jason Blum is a producer on this though.
Oh, is he? Okay.
Yeah.
Look at Grant trying to talk to Cone about horror. Like, no. Actually,
should have known better.
Actually,
right? God, who are you?
Should have known better. What an idiot.
You can leave.
The whole podcast shuts down. Wait a minute, no, he can't leave. He's making this run. We don't know what we're doing.
Yeah. Do you guys have a desire to see a Backrooms too? Like,
sorry, I'm wrong. I am wrong. What am I talking about?
Gonna say. I don't see any evidence of what you're saying.
No, you're right.
Look at this guy trying to
it's
talk
James
about
Wan.
how he knows.
Sorry, I'm getting them mixed up. It's James Wan's on this, not Jason Blum. Sorry.
Look at this. This guy thinks he knows what he's talking about. Acorn.
Yeah, I'm a fucking
He
moron.
doesn't know any jack shit about
There's
horror.
I'm gonna leave now.
Yeah, get rid of him.
Do you guys have a desire to see a Backrooms 2? Like, do you... I mean, I guess by its nature, you could just explore this forever, right? Like, you could make Backrooms movies forever.
I don't know if you get the same audience in. I don't know.
I think you might.
You don't think you'd have to do something different to have somebody come back? Because you don't want to see another movie the same space, right? Like that's going to get boring. I feel like it got old by the end of this.
I think the Zoomers who were there for this movie would turn out for a second one. Like you and me, maybe not so much. But I hate to break it to you, studios don't care about us as much as what they used to, right? Like everybody's trying to attach into this Zoomer market.
They should care about me. I go to the movies all the time.
You do. But you
Like,
go. That's the problem, right?
I watch Backrooms like 3 times at the cinema.
You go. The
They
Zoomers
care
weren't
about the
going.
people older than us. They care about like Gen X and they care about Zoomers. They don't care about millennials as much. We're in the awkward spot. Yeah, I think Backrooms 2 comes out. Backrooms 2 does a huge amount. Maybe not as big because some people will be like us will be like, yeah, we've seen the first, not that good. But yeah, I think a lot of people.
Depends who they cast. They could cast somebody where people are like, oh, I want to see them in Backrooms. Like, you know.
What if Mr. Beast makes his acting debut in Backrooms 2?
I don't know if that's who I was thinking. I was thinking more like a Tom Cruise, you know, like a Tom Cruise running through the Backrooms as the villain, like chasing the person. It's a big Tom Cruise sprinting because somebody in the furniture shop was watching Mission Impossible over and over again, like all of them. So there's Tom Cruise just constantly running down the halls,
It's just
chasing people.
Infused with Tom Cruise-ness.
Yep.
Kane Parsons has a Backrooms sequel in his upcoming on IMDb, so it's confirmed 100%.
There's no way it's not happening. My concern is like, do you guys want to see a future where every single creepypasta becomes a movie now?
I'm terrified of some of them.
We've had that with creepypastas are just modern urban legends, right? In a lot of ways.
Yeah.
And we had that with urban legends, and were we any worse off for it? Somewhat, I guess. There's some pretty bad urban legends movies out there.
The movie Urban Legend, we didn't need that.
No. I think there is there's a vein of gold to be mined there. Whether we'll get all gold, probably not. But I think there's some good creepypastas. Some, the SCP I think is rich with like weird shit that we can make movies out of, and nobody's done it, or very little has been done of it.
Yes, the SCP that we all know about.
What is the SCP, Conan? Tell me to remind me.
It's like a catalog of weird phenomena that people on the internet made up, right? So it's like, I think Slender Man was an SCP, and all those things.
What's SCP stand for?
Conan's on the page, right? I don't know.
Is
what
it
it stands
something creepypasta?
Floppy creepy pasta. The entire concept began with SCP-173, a short post on 4chan, which mirrored the viral monster sharing style of classic creepypasta. I don't know.
So it's called the SCP Foundation Secure, Contain, Protect. Like it's a fake foundation. It's, if you guys played Control, the Control Bureau is very much the SCP, right? Like they're capturing and controlling and protecting these phenomena.
So are we getting an Avengers movie where all these monsters come out and the SCP come out and Slender Man
SCP universe? It's been like people have
SCP assemble.
We are not the first people to make that joke. I will say that.
Pirate Park comes out with Slender Man and Siren Head, and they go, "We've got to stop." I don't know, AI.
Like you just hear the siren somewhere in the distance. And it's like, oh shit, Siren Head's here.
People lose it.
Yeah.
They lose their minds.
It's like, we've got a slender chance to get through this. And it's like, wait a minute.
Did someone
say that again. Miles Teller comes out just to be like, say that again. And then Slender Man runs out.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. There are some cool ideas. Like, I would love to see some creepypastas be adapted. And we sort of had that with that TV show, Channel Zero. That had, it took like 4 seasons. It was 4 different stories that it expanded out. So this isn't entirely new concept, but yeah. I wonder if there'll be like a spate of low budget. This is based off this one Reddit post that happened.
Yeah,
no one really cares about, but it's just
gets 2,000 view.
Yeah, some exec saw it and was like, "No, that's a great idea. Do that." And
yep.
There will probably be some of that.
I guarantee there's people out there. I guarantee since Backrooms, it's like been there are so many teams in Hollywood that are obsessing over it, being like, okay, which one we need to make the next Backrooms. What's the other creepypasta that we can make? We're going to get a bunch of them. So.
Well, that's what happened with this. Like not Blumhouse, was it Atomic Monster and A24? My bad. Grinder, you're right. They I heard of something about the story of it. Like there was just an exec, not an exec, like an intern or something, like just working a desk job there. And her job was basically going through and trying to find ideas. And she found this idea and was like, that's something cool. And like they were literally just looking for IP and looking for ideas and things to make a project. And she brought this to them because she was younger and she knew that people were interested in this.
Mm.
And so the old stuffy suits were like, oh, okay, we'll give this a go and look at it now.
Yeah.
So yeah, like that definitely would be, every single production house now would be like having people just combing through this.
We need the youngins. We need the youngins' opinion.
Well, yeah, this year is showing that like they are fueling the box office, right? Like Gen Z cares more about IMAX than millennials or Gen X. Like, our generation now is worried about, we're home, we're in bed by 10 because we have kids and we have families and we've got jobs. Like, we do not worry about that as much. We're the old stuffy people who are like, I'll catch it on streaming. I'll see it when it comes out on Netflix. It's it's alphas who are like, no, I'll go out with my friends and pay $50 to see.
We all just traveled
IMAX.
interstate to go watch a movie.
I mean, we as a large collective, but I mean literally three of us.
Yeah, we are standalone. We are.
Like, think about the amount of people you know in your life of your age who are going to the movies regularly and who are following this stuff.
Yeah.
No one.
Yeah.
No one.
And in fact, they hate going to the movies when they've got to take their kid to go watch fucking Ice Age 7 or some shit. I'm like,
right.
And I'm like, it's such a cool experience. I don't know.
Yeah, I love taking my kids to the movies. It's so fun.
Yeah.
Me too. But yeah, like we're in the minority here, whereas the younger generation, the kids who know the internet are into this stuff, they're seeing movies. So yeah, they don't want to see He-Man. They don't want to see some stupid action figure from the 80s and be like, yeah, I give a shit about that. They want to see like the creepypastas that they might have seen when they were 10. And now that they're 18, they're like, fuck yeah, let's see that on screen.
Yeah. Like, we're going to get a 6-7 movie.
Wasn't it? We're getting a Skibbity Toilet movie. That's literally a thing that exists in the world.
Yeah, Skibbity Ruse.
Like, if they can make a movie out of that.
I feel like some of those things, though, like Skibbity Toilet is already not cool, right?
Yes.
Yeah, 100%.
Yes.
Like,
Michael Bay
already too late. By the time you're making that movie, it's already too late. Anyway.
Yeah. And there'll be backlash. Yeah, these will come out, they'll do badly, and then there'll be like a great contraction where they're like, the internet's dead, no one wants this stuff, and then Kane Passes will come out swinging again.
Exactly.
All right, we've talked about them all. Let's rank them. It's a really easy ranking for me.
Yes, same.
Iron Lung 1, 2, and 3.
Yep.
Just that blood was so impressive.
Sorry, fuck you, Curry.
But where did the budget go? Obsession, Backrooms, and then Iron Lung.
Iron Lung. Yep.
Without a doubt.
I agree. Yep.
But all tremendous achievements.
Yeah.
And again, like we said, the story of these movies is almost as interesting as the movies themselves.
Yeah.
And now, our big announcement, we are going to do a horror film next year. As our boys' weekend. We're going to film a very guerrilla style.
A snuff film.
Yeah.
We're just going to go murder somebody.
We won't even have to leave the hotel room. That's just...
it's a good concept.
Yeah. Podcast gone wrong. All right. Release it as a podcast first.
Have you guys seen Milk and Cereal?
I did start watching it. Yeah.
It's like literally about that idea.
Yeah, right. I watched The Chair. Did you watch The Chair? That's another one of his little horror shorts.
I want to watch all of this stuff now because Milk and Cereal is really good.
But his the comedy stuff's really funny too. Of theirs. Do recommend.
I don't like it a lot.
Conan, what are we doing next fortnight?
I don't know. I'm still umming and ahhing. It's either probably going to be Crocodile Dundee or the Paradise Lost trilogy. Or maybe something different. I don't know. I have the power to just change my mind. You can't stop me.
I don't know about that.
Tune in 2 weeks.
This one, Wish Willow will tell you otherwise.
Ooh.
All right. Thanks for joining us for The Good, The Bad, and The Worst. This podcast is brought to you by Trilogy Books by Conan Clark, Taste of Iron, God Grotesque, and...
Face of the Deep.
Face of the Deep.
Face of the Deep. Here it is. I won't show you the spines because Luke fucking hates them.
Nah, very cool
I
cover.
love the cover. Very cool.
Sure.
Speaking about young people who've achieved amazing things, well done, Conan, for the release of your third
My boy.
I am legitimately proud of you, and I'm not golf clapping you like Luke.
He could have made Iron Lung with $20.
Could have made Iron Lung.
What would be your one wish with a one wish Wello? You got to choose your words carefully because you only get one chance.
Is it a monkey paw, one wish willow?
I don't think it is. The dude got $1 billion.
That's right. So I would just wish for $1 billion then.
But like, would that billions of dollars eventually like crushed him or drowned his like I don't know?
It didn't because he went to the other house. He was like, dude, it's $1 billion. He just walks in at a bad time. He shouldn't have gone in there. He would have been fine.
But does that then like burst out the seams of his house and then the police come and take it all and arrest him for
because they
drug
think
charges?
possibly. Health and wealth for my family. Great health and exorbitant
great.
wealth.
Now you all live forever and you can't die.
Yeah.
Good one, Luke.
I didn't say immortality. I just said good health. Good health.
And Wealth could be a surname, so now some guy named Wealth is going to come and like just kill
He
him.
lives in your house
dude,
now.
dude named Wealth just lives in the house like, hey, man, I'm well.
Yeah. You're stuck with him forever.
Yeah, it's Brad Pitt for some reason.
No, the only wish we saw work successfully was the $1 billion. So that's
You go
that's
with
where
that
my
one.
wish would go. Yeah,
Yep.
wish for
Conan?
more wishes.
Yes,
Yeah.
wish for infinite wishes. There you go.
Jamie's
for
like
that
this son of a
Hansel and-
bitch.
I'd wish for that Hansel and Gretel fanfic to be finished.
Yeah, are we going to get that? Maybe that's Obsession 2, is that
I'll
Hansel and
read that,
Gretel? Yep. Written by Stephanie Meyer.
All right. Thanks for joining us for the good, the bad, and the worst. Yeah, I told you what this podcast was brought to you by. But next fortnight, catch us then for a movie that's not yet disclosed. Rate us on iTunes. Appreciate you listening. Thanks.
Bye.
Comment, like, subscribe. Peace.